Good evening, Metalheads. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial tonight on how to use Windsor & Newton Mineral Texture Gel. There are other similar types or similar product that's different brand names, but this is the one that I just happen to use. This stuff is really great. Has a gritty texture to it. It's kind of like a gray, like a light gray and black texture. It's very gritty. And here's what it looks like when you initially put it on. This is on a Bombshell Miniature, Sally Starfield, which is going to be painted for Toys for Tots this year. So that's what it looks like once you put it on wet. And then this is what it looks like after it dries overnight. This is one of my objective markers for my Ultramarines, actually. But you see, it looks a little shiny when it dries, but once you prime it, for example, in this piece with this Darksword Alley Sparrow figure, you see that once I prime it, that it really doesn't look weird or anything. It looks like it's part of sand, dirt, grit, and really depending on what color you do it, you can pretty much make it look like anything you want. For example, here, I'll show you a finished product example. This was a Hadai that I painted for ACP Games, okay? And if you see here, the finished product, when I painted it, I just made it look like light-colored dirt, like kind of like sand, if you will. And I used there some earth brown, highlighted up to pale sand from Vallejo, and came out with that color. So when it comes out painted, it looks really good. So really quick for the tutorial, I'm going to show you here how I use it. Take off the cap there. And this is one of those products where, you know how people tell you don't throw away your crappy brushes? You're about to see why right now. So I have here a crappy brush. I have here a Bombshell miniature of an alien guy. I honestly don't remember his name, but he's also going to be painted for Toys for Tots this year. And you pile some up on a brush, and you just gently, just kind of slop it on there. The only thing that you want to try not to touch is the figure itself. But even if you do, it's not hard at all to take it off. You can just use your finger to take it off. You can use a wet brush to kind of, you know, a wet crappy brush to take it off. Don't use one of your good brushes. Sorry that I came off the camera there for a second. But as you see here, I'm not worrying too much about being so neat. And you got to think of it like this too. Realistically, dirt, sand, mud, it's not uniform at all in way of level, and there's bumps and dips and things like that. So it's really, see? And then see if you put a little bit extra on the side there. You just use your finger to wipe it off. No big deal at all. No biggie. All good. Nice and quick. Okay, and so when it dries in 24 hours, you'll see that it'll look like I showed you on the objective marker, all dried, nice and gritty, as dirt would look. And like I said, if you get any on the figure itself, you can just either use your fingernail to get it off. I'll show you right now because I got some on the boot there. I saw. I'm just going to lightly get it off because realistically some dirt would be on the boot. So I'm just going to leave some of it alone. Level that out because that's a little bit bigger of a bump than I wanted to do. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you want to. So there you have it, folks. Windsor & Newton Acrylic Mediums Mineral Texture Gel. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, or I believe at Michael's also. This was purchased years ago for $8, so since then it might either be the same price or it might be a little more. There are less expensive, well, not that's expensive to begin with, but there are brands that cost less, and they're texture gels and such. Gesso, I believe, is another one that people very popularly use, spelled Gesso. You can also pick that up to get some good textured ground, but that's a nice easy way for you to do some bases. Just let it dry overnight, prime it, paint it, and you're good to go. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys this evening. Hope you learned a lot. Sorry if the lighting is a little weird here on the desk. There's just a lot of work on here. But till next time, folks, stay crispy and milk. Keep on painting. Have yourselves a good night.